Hi boys and girls, welcome back to another fun STEAM lesson. This is going to be our last water lesson and I saved a really fun project for the very end. You can see I had to put a towel down because we're going to be getting a little bit messy today. So you might want to do your challenge outside on a nice day because we will be getting a little bit wet. So we have this book called Full Steam Ahead, and it's about two little scientists. They love STEAM, it's Sydney and Simon, and they have a problem at the beginning. They have a window that will only open a little crack, and you can see their plants are stuck outside and they really need water. So Sydney and Simon come up with a really awesome solution to water their plants outside of their window. They use something called an Archimedes screw. So this is an example of an Archimedes screw. So you can see it's a cylinder, and I put some tubing, so it has open holes on the ends around the outside, and it's going up. So there's an opening at the bottom, and there's an opening at the top. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna put the bottom of this in the water, and we're gonna get water to come out of the top. So I have just plain water here that I put some food coloring in so that you would be able to see it better. And then I'm just gonna start twisting. So we're gonna zoom in really close so you can see what's happening to this water. But this water is doing something that water doesn't normally do. It's going up. So when I dip it in the water, it catches some, and then it goes up, up, up. And I'm gonna go a little bit faster here. And you can see that it's moving up our cylinder, and then let's look at what's happening at the top here. So if Sydney and Simon built this and they stuck it out their window, they would be able to water their plants even though they have to move the water up. So this is called an Archimedes screw, and you just got to see what happened all the way from the top to the bottom. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video. I want you to draw it, and I want you to show what it's doing. So that's called a diagram. So you're gonna draw it, but then you're gonna label it and show what the water is doing. Once you do that, come back here. Okay, so you can see I added to my diagram so I could show more what was happening to the water here. So I still had my Archimedes screw just like this, but I showed that it is spinning. So it's spinning around always the same direction. So that's why I made my arrow one direction. And then I said the water moves up. So it moves from the bottom to the top, which isn't what water normally does. So that's an important part of my diagram. I also added water to my illustration, and you might have noticed when you were watching this that the water was only filling part of the tube, and then there was clear space. So we know that what we breathe is air. So what was happening is it wasn't just empty space. The water was being held by air. So this is the way that the Archimedes screw works. So when you spin it, it catches water, and then you keep spinning, and that movement catches air in between the water. So every time it catches air, it moves the water a little bit more up to the top, and then eventually that water comes out. So if I was to try and spin it like this and keep it underwater the whole time, it doesn't work because there's no way for it to catch air for it to move up. So this is a really cool project that you can make at home. You can just get PVC pipe and then this tubing, and you can get that at your local hardware store. But I have an easier project that you can make with things that you probably already have at your house. So those things are a skewer. You can use a wooden skewer. I only had a metal one. So I used a metal skewer, a clear straw, blue painter's tape, and scissors. If you don't have blue painter's tape, you can use any tape. I just like that because it's easiest for me to use. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a sprinkler using the same principles as the Archimedes screw. So if you can come closer here, I'm gonna show you what's going on with my sprinkler. So I have poked a hole through the middle of my sprinkler here, through the middle of my straw, and so my skewer can go through to the bottom. Then on either side of my straw, I'm gonna bend it down and leave the holes open so that they can catch water. And then right here, I cut open the corners. So I didn't cut all the way through, I just cut open the corners. And then I taped it down so that it would all stay in this shape. So the openings at the bottom here are going to collect water. And then when I spin it, it's going to move that water up, and then it's going to come out of the hole like a sprinkler. So if you're ready, I'm going to show you how this works, and it is going to make a mess. So I'm going to move my book out of the way, and I'm going to put it in the water here, and I want the bottom to be in the water and then the top to be out. And then I'm going to spin it using my hands like this, and you can watch, and you can see the water is going everywhere. So it flung all over the place. That's why we call it a sprinkler, because it works a lot like a sprinkler. So this is a really fun project to do outside. What you want to do is you're going to take your skewer, and like I said, a wooden skewer works great. We just didn't have one. And you're going to find the middle of your straw, and you are going to poke it through. Okay, so it's going to look just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it so that it touches the middle of the skewer here. And so you might have to do a couple tries to get it at the right spot. And then right on these edges, I'm going to snip just this side. So you might need help from an adult for parts of this project. So I'm going to go just on the outside and make sure I don't cut through my straw, because if I cut through it, then it's not going to work. So I'm cutting the outside, and then I'm going to bend it down so that they're both down here. Now this is really important. You don't want to tape over the tops of the straw, or I guess that would be the bottom. You don't want to tape over that, because that's how it's going to collect water. So I'm going to get some tape, I'm going to close it, and then I'm going to put the tape around my straw, but making sure not to go over the top part. So I might need to get some more. Let's see if I can get it around here. And it doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to keep those ends open. And then you can see that I have a good opening on both sides here. So I'll show you one more time. Oh, see, it's not, this part wasn't in the water, so I need to scoot it down a little bit, if my tape will let me. And then I'm going to spin it and make a sprinkler. So your challenge this week is a fun one. It's to make your own sprinkler using the Archimedes Screw principle by using just things that you would find in your house. So a skewer, or it could be like a stick, a straw, some tape, and that's it. I hope you guys had so much fun with the lessons this week, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.